we're making stew. So what we have is we have 6 organic carrots. We have a purple potato. We have a yam, and we have a rutabaga. I'm adding to it some Mayocoba beans. And we're going to add 1 cup of Lindbergh country wild rice. It's gluten-free and it's got whole grain, non-GMO. So come and watch how I put this together. Welcome to Healthy Vegan Living! Okay, so what you do is you press adjust, you press manual, you press these buttons, and we're moving it to 30. Okay, now it's going to take a minute to turn on. And it's going to take 5 minutes to come to the pressure and 30 minutes, that's 35 minutes cooking time, so we'll see you then. And I'll show you what you do next. Okay, so the alarm just rang. We're going to turn off the power, and now we're going to let it vent naturally. Now the reason why we don't fast vent this pot compared to some of the other pots is that this has got beans in it. And beans need to slowly vent down the pot. If you fast vent, there's a possibility that you might clog up the hole, then you might not be able to open up the IP. So we're just going to let it vent naturally. It's going to take about 15 minutes. We'll check it again and we'll see where we're at. Alright, we're coming to the very end of when the pot is pressurized. What we're doing now is we're waiting for it, the lid lock to drop. Just for fun, I thought the lock just dropped. Alright. Now when you pick this up, let it juice fall inside the pot and put this in a safe place. Yeah, everything's perfect. So what we're going to do is very carefully get it out of here and put in this bowl here, which I'm going to move the bowl so you can see them both together. As you see, I'm using a huge soup pan. Okay, and we're just going to put it together. Trying not to break any of the rutabagas or... Now it's too hot to this would be perfect to eat right now, but it's too hot to put away, so you have to cool it down. Now you see, this made a lot of food. The combination of the beans and the rice give you a complex protein. Okay, now I'm going to need another pot. Now, I like these pots, these big meals like this, and when it's cold outside and it's starting to get to that weather now, I have something I can easily make that's hearty and full of good food for me, and it doesn't stop me from having to put more vegetables into it if I want to. Say I wanted to put in green beans, or I wanted to put broccoli or cauliflower. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take some of it from this pot, so we're going to have a better chance of it cooling down. Now your Instant Pot is made with stainless steel, but if you use a metal one, it'll scrape the sides, and I've already done that on mine. So if you're using a new one, or you just bought a new one, get yourself one of these plastic ladles. It'll make your life easier. You won't have a scratch pot. Not that I can't take it, it's just that we want to keep our pots as pristine as possible. Okay, so that's it for right now. We're going to let the food cool, and we'll be back in a little bit. Now, this would make an interesting dinner, but that's not what the purpose of this meal is. This is a base. So what I want to do is I'm going to put it in these freezer bags, and I'm hoping I have at least 7 of them full. So then I could pull out one of these freezer bags and add vegetables a little later down the line, and I have a complete meal. because I know that in here I have rice and I have beans. That's a complex protein. And the beans I chose were Mayocobas, which is a white bean, similar to a Great Northern. It just takes time to do this, but it makes it a lot easier for your family. Now, if you have a big family, you could, and if you're vegan that is, you could use like a gallon-sized bag, and that would, you could make an entire dinner for your entire meal, for your entire family. And then you could take care of the people who aren't vegan. They could still eat this. There's nothing wrong with it. Maybe they won't eat as many vegetables as I eat. So from experience, I've got a pretty good idea that it's going to take 7 bags. So I've got 3 of them done. 2 more bags, and then we'll just fill them all up and try to get them as close as possible. Now, I have not managed to figure out a way to not make a mess when I do this. Whoever does do this, you might want to consider that, because you're picking up something that's hot and you're putting it in these bags. I do wash the bags after I'm finished with them, after I think I have enough in them, and that's the only way I can prevent them from sticking to each other. They do stick to each other in the freezer, but you know, most of the time I pry them loose. Okay, so I've got my 7 bags, and now what I'm doing is I'm just making sure I have enough in each of the bags. And I'm not worried about the contents of the bags, because this mix, it pretty much mixes everything. Now the cool thing about the Instapot is that nobody really talks much about is it doesn't get to a temperature so high to boil away or steam away all the goodness in the vegetables. And that's why so many vegans and cooks around the world, pardon me about that, use a pressure cooker. Now it smells heavenly, you know, with a combination of all the root vegetables. I put the date on, root stew, basically what that I'm hoping it's going to end up to be. I'm going to move this on my counter, try to move this towel out of the way. So watch me as I do this. I'm not going to talk so that I can speed this through so you don't have to see me watch 7 bags. Pull this away and put this in the sink. Now the next step is to wipe down the bags. You do not want to put the bags in the freezer wet. Then where they're going to stick and you're never going to get them apart. You want to make sure they dry off. And you know, you might have a piece of food on top of the bag, and that's just going to make it more difficult. Now what I did is some of these bags are more full than other bags. And for the bigger dinners that I might plan in the future, then if I'm inviting a friend over or Linda decides to have some of my food, then I'll be able to easily share. But on the nights that it's just me, then I have these lighter bags and I can just easily make what I'm looking for. Because there are some things that Linda does like a lot. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of them will be eventually when the bag's completely dry. I'll put all the dates on them, and that's all ready for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you watch soon. Bye-bye.
If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.